it's just the difference between generosity and selfishness. You know, tagging is essentially quite a selfish thing. Anything that we do in the public domain has to be considered, and tagging in general speaks only to other taggers, and for the mass of the public is perceived as something generally negative.
I'm Colin Slaysell, a detective constable with the Transport Police, and I'm based at Telton Meads CID in Bristol. We share a database of information and images with this council and all councils across England and Wales, as well as all police forces across England and Wales as well.
When I got caught, it was rubbish.
Got busted about 7 months ago in the process of being convicted for various graffiti crimes.
I got caught for it about 2 months ago. I had a knocking on my door at like 7:30 in the morning.
They came to my house.
They raided my house.
Came in at like 7:45 in the morning.
They raided my girlfriend's house.
My parents' house.
My best friend's house.
Went in my room, went through all my stuff, hijacked all my photos, kidnapped my computer.
Sneaking around at night on the train tracks is a dangerous thing. People in London have just died from being hit by a fast train on the main line.
Has anyone ever been hurt doing graffiti? Unfortunately, yes. 2 young men were disturbed whilst they were putting graffiti up on the side of a tube train in Barking, and fled or tried to flee the scene of what they were doing, and unfortunately they got struck and killed by a passing tube train. Regrettably, those 2 young men met their death simply for putting up graffiti on the side of a tube train. The likelihood is you are going to wind up with a criminal record, or you could wind up hurting yourself, or in fact even getting killed.
My name is Catherine Xiang, and my Chinese name is Xianghua. And I'm from China, Shanghai. With my parents, it's Shanghainese, because I'm from Shanghai, so we have local dialect. But with friends, in general, we speak Mandarin. And now I'm living here, so I speak English. For Chinese people, the most prominent religion is Buddhism, but not necessarily everybody practices it. And probably also it depends on the generation. Like for the younger generation, my generation, and most people probably don't necessarily have a very strong religious belief. And also we have quite big Western influence recently, so Christian is growing as well in China. Spring Festival is basically the traditional Chinese New Year, and it changes every year because it depends on the lunar calendar. So most likely it's going to be in January or February, and it's a very kind of family-oriented festival. So the most important meal throughout the year is the New Year's Eve meal, and we have a lot of traditional festivals like Spring Festival is one of the most important one, but also like Lantern Festival, Moon Festival, and all these kind of festivals, but it's not religion-based. China is so big, I think it's just not possible to stereotype, say this is the way Chinese people are, because we're from such a big country. We all have our own habit and custom, even from small places in China. I'm very proud of my language and my culture and the history. We have a very long, old civilization, and which make me feel, very proud.
Bristol oo ku taala koonfur galbeed ee dalkan Ingiriiska ahna mid ka mid ah magaalooyinka ugu fac waaweyn ee dalkan runtiina leh taariikh aad u fog ayaad moodaa inay Soomaalidu ku soo qulqulayaan bariyahan dambe kuwaas oo isugu jira qaar magaalada doona qaar ka yimi ama ka soo wareegay dalal kale ee Yurub iyo waliba qaar kale oo ka imanaya magaalooyin kale ee dalkan haba ugu sii badnaatay magaalada London tiro lagu qiyaasay ilaa iyo 18,000 oo qofood ayaa haatan ku nool magaalada Bristol taasoo sababtay inay Soomaalidu la kulmanto dhibaatooyin aad u fara badan oo ugu horreyso dhinaca helidda guryaha loo yaqaano councilka oo ay dawladdu leedahay qiimo ahaanna ka jaban guryaha la kireeyo mararka qaarkoodna ay dhacdo in Soomaalida laga saaro guryaha sababo aanay garanayn daraaddeed nasiib wanaagse Bristol Somali Youth and Cultural Society iyo Bristol Councilka ayaa iska kaashaday isla markaana sameeyay barnaamij qaab filimeed oo kale ah kaasoo la magac baxay isfahamka u dhaxeeya councilka iyo kiraystaha runtiina aan filayo inuu faa'iido weyn u yeelan doono dadka degan magaalada Bristol iyo weliba guud ahaanba dalkan Ingiriiska.
Moving into independent living was a scary time, leaving foster care, going straight into a bed sit. I felt quite excited.
I coordinate what
I understand it's very, very scary.
When you're leaving care, things can all seem a bit scary and confusing. At the end of the day, everyone wants a place to call home, a safe place to keep all your things, a place to escape from the world where you can hang out and do what you want to. This film is going to explore what housing options are available to you and what you can do to help yourself make a comfortable home become your reality.
I'm Helen and I've lived in my self-contained flat for 3 months. While I'm at home, I enjoy art and doing my science homework from my college.
Hey, I'm Natalia. I've left care at 18, been living on my own now, supported by care and after for 2.5 years. My favorite thing to do at home is sit at this computer and be surfing on the internet, whether it be MSN, you know, websites, eBay.
I'm Annabelle. I moved out when I was 16. I went to live in a place called The Projects.
Hi, I'm Harry, and I've lived in Blenheim Road for a year. I love working on my bikes and playing on my console and sitting down watching TV.
I'm Marie. I've lived in my self-contained flat for 2 years. I like all my bits and pieces which I've collected to sort of put my stamp on the place.